What if I told you there's a country where even unemployed men can date multiple women at the same time? A place where some women compete for men so desperately that they pay their rent, buy them clothes, and even fight each other in public just for attention. It sounds unbelievable, but this is the reality of modern Venezuela. A country once considered one of the richest nations in South America has now become one of the most tragic examples of economic collapse in modern history. And strangely enough, that collapse completely transformed the country's dating culture, social structure, and even survival itself. Venezuela is famous around the world for one thing: beautiful women. This country of around 28 million people has produced more international beauty pageant winners than almost any other nation on Earth. For decades, Venezuela dominated global beauty competitions. Miss Universe, Miss World, Miss International. It became normal for Venezuelan women to win international crowns. Walking through cities like Caracas, many visitors are shocked by how many tall, elegant, model-like women they see everywhere. Beauty in Venezuela is not just admired. It is treated almost like a national industry. Many girls begin beauty training from childhood. Families spend huge amounts of money preparing daughters for pageants, hoping beauty can change their future forever. Because in Venezuela, beauty is often seen as one of the few remaining escape routes from poverty. But behind that glamorous image lies a much darker reality. Over the past decade, Venezuela suffered one of the worst economic collapses in the modern world. Hyperinflation destroyed savings. Food shortages spread everywhere. Crime exploded. Millions of citizens fled the country searching for survival. And most of those who left were young men. That created a strange imbalance inside Venezuela itself. Official statistics may still appear relatively balanced, but in many neighborhoods, especially poorer areas, young women now vastly outnumber young men. And suddenly, men became one of the rarest resources in the country. This completely changed dating culture. In many countries, men compete for women. In Venezuela, the situation increasingly became the opposite. An ordinary man with a stable job, no criminal record, and relatively decent behavior suddenly became extremely valuable in the marriage market. Even poor men found themselves surrounded by opportunities they would never have in other countries. Take the story of Carlos. He works as a supermarket cashier earning less than $100 a month. No car, no house, no university degree. By normal standards, he would be considered near the bottom of the dating market. But in Venezuela, he became highly desirable. According to local stories, multiple women competed for his attention simultaneously. Some paid for his meals. Others bought him clothes. One helped cover his phone bills. Another invited him to live with her rent-free. At one point, 2 women reportedly fought publicly over him outside his workplace. And Carlos himself admitted he was dating multiple women at the same time. To outsiders, this sounds insane. But in Venezuela, survival changed relationship dynamics completely. For many women, having a man nearby means more than romance. It means protection. In neighborhoods where robbery, violence, and insecurity are common, living alone can feel dangerous, especially for women with children. As a result, many women tolerate situations they normally would never accept. Some share partners with other women. Others knowingly date men already involved in multiple relationships. In poorer districts around Caracas, these arrangements became surprisingly common. One man named Diego reportedly maintained relationships with 4 women living in the same neighborhood. Each woman knew about the others. Instead of jealousy, they cooperated. They shared expenses together, helped raise children together, and relied on Diego for protection and repairs around the home. The women themselves admitted it was not really about love anymore. It was about survival. Because when society becomes unstable enough, people stop chasing ideals. They chase security instead. And nowhere is this contradiction more visible than Venezuela's beauty industry. For years, beauty pageants represented hope. Poor families believed one successful daughter could transform the future of the entire household. Thousands of girls trained endlessly in walking, makeup, posture, speech, and appearance. Some families sacrificed everything financially just for pageant preparation. But then the economy collapsed. Sponsors disappeared. Beauty schools closed. Competitions lost prestige. Even former beauty queens struggled financially. One former international winner reportedly survived by selling skincare products online. Another allegedly sold her crown on the black market simply to buy food for her family. The contrast became heartbreaking. Women once celebrated as symbols of glamour now struggled to survive like ordinary citizens. And many young women began searching for escape overseas. Today, Venezuela became one of the world's largest sources of international marriage migration. Thousands of Venezuelan women now marry foreigners every year through online dating platforms. Some move to the United States. Others go to Spain, Colombia, or other countries. For many, marriage is no longer about romance. It is about survival and stability. And this tragedy becomes even more shocking when you remember one fact. Venezuela has the largest proven oil reserves on Earth. This country was once incredibly wealthy. In the 20th century, Venezuela enjoyed periods of enormous prosperity fueled by oil exports. At one point, people across Latin America viewed Venezuela as a land of opportunity. Immigrants arrived from Europe searching for better lives. But dependence on oil eventually became a curse. Corruption grew. Economic management failed. Oil prices crashed. And the entire system slowly collapsed. Today, many Venezuelans survive through remittances sent by relatives abroad. Others sell cigarettes, flowers, fruit, or small goods on the streets simply to survive another day. Yet despite the suffering, Venezuela still feels strangely alive. Music fills neighborhoods. Street vendors continue working. Children still play football in broken streets. And beautiful women still walk through Caracas with elegance that almost hides the crisis surrounding them. That is Venezuela, a country blessed with extraordinary beauty, massive natural resources, and incredible human talent, but also a country broken by economic disaster, mass migration, and survival-driven desperation. A place where the richest oil reserves on Earth somehow coexist with widespread poverty. If you enjoyed this documentary and want more shocking stories about hidden realities, strange cultures, and the rise and fall of countries around the world, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next incredible story.